Welcome back to Firestorm Games and another Games Workshop unboxing video. This time we're taking a look at one of the new releases for Warhammer 40k, the Skorpius Disintegrator / Dunerider for the Adeptus Mechanicus. As usual, we'll be assembling the miniature whilst taking a look at the kit itself. So let's get started. So the Skorpius is in fact a 2-in-1 kit. You can either build it as the Disintegrator Armoured Assault Vehicle or the Dunerider Open Top Transport Vehicle. Now whilst I will be building the latter of the two in this video, we will still discuss the Disintegrator option as well. So the Skorpius, regardless of which version you're building, is built around the same basic hull structure. This is comprised of the base, side panels, rear engine and crew compartments. To build each variation, the basic structure is simply added to accordingly. This means that both vehicles share many similarities, the first being its method of propulsion. The Skorpius travels by hovering across the battlefield. However, unlike the Primaris repulsor tanks, the hover technology being employed here is much more recognisable to us dwellers of the 3rd millennium. It's essentially a fancy armoured hovercraft, not like those employed by modern militaries, yet another example of Games Workshop taking inspiration from real-world vehicles. It features the same air-filled skirt along the bottom of the vehicle, as well as two large ruddered fans at the rear which serve as lateral propulsion. The rest of the hull is constructed in the typical Imperial way, blocky and utilitarian. You will find many similarities between this kit and other common vehicles such as Rhinos and Chimeras. In addition to this, there are also a number of Adeptus Mechanicus specific features too. The rounded cupulas that sit slightly outside the vehicle's profile are seen on the Onager Dune Crawler kit as well, as are the other smaller details such as vents, vision ports and hatches. These familiar aesthetics help to tie this vehicle in with the rest of the AdMech forces, which is handy considering just how much of a departure the Skorpius is from the existing range. Apart from the Cataphrine breaches and their variants, all previous AdMech units were propelled by good old-fashioned legs. This meant that your force were most likely going to be slogging it across the battlefield in order to pick up those objectives or get in range with their radium carbines. For a long time, Mechanicus players have been reciting their binaric prayers for a faster transport, and finally the machine spirits have answered with the Dunerider. This open-top transport can deliver your troops where they're most needed quickly and with a modicum of protection. First of all, we have the armaments. To start things off, we have a pair of turret-mounted, servo-operated Cognus heavy stubbers, as well as two hull-mounted heavy stubbers, which are crewed by two Skitarii found in the troop compartment. Once again, this area is designed as similar to the other Imperial interiors, and is actually one of the few transport miniatures that could easily contain the same number of actual models that its rules allow it to carry. This troop area remains completely open from above, with the main access point being a lowerable ramp at the front of the vehicle. This gives the miniature that distinctive appearance of a World War II era Higgins boat, the infantry landing craft made famous by their use in the D-Day landings. The link isn't even that tenuous here. The overall sloping profile of the craft alongside the two round cupulas at the rear give the Skorpius Dunerider a very familiar look, which is something that I personally find to be a good thing. After all, if a principle works in real life, why wouldn't it also work in the 40k universe? So as promised, let's talk a little about the Disintegrator variant of the Skorpius. The mobile gun platform sacrifices its transport capacity in favour of some heavier armament and armour. The troop compartment is replaced and covered with a forward-leaning hull section inlaid with 3 disruptor missile tubes on each side. This structure gives the vehicle a very diesel punk appearance, which is in keeping with various other Adeptus Mechanicus vehicles too. On top of the disruptor, our twin Cognus heavy stubber turret makes way for a much beefier weapons platform. Mounted to this, we have either the heavy mortar of the Balaros energy cannon or the hard-hitting Ferromite cannon. I should note that both of these could easily be magnetised, so allow you to switch between them as you see fit. However, magnetising between the two Skorpius variants would be much trickier, but not entirely impossible. This difficulty is mainly due to how the Disintegrator's superstructure replaces part of the Dunerider's front ramp area. Not only this, but the turret in both vehicles shares the same servitor components, which acts as the central pivot for both. So let's talk about customization options. We've already mentioned the two vehicle types and weapon options, but the crew also offers some degree of variation. They can be modelled leaning from hatches or not, given different arms, and finally either being Skitarii Vanguard or Skitarii Rangers, simply with a head swap. However, one area that I feel that the kit is lacking in is the interior of the Dunerider. The panels look a little flat and could probably benefit from free cables or pipes, much like the interiors of other Imperial vehicles. This is a shame considering just how much surface detail has been added to the exterior of the vehicle. So let's finish the assembly and take a look at the finished Skorpius Dunerider. And here we have the completed miniature. It's not only a much needed addition in terms of its battlefield role, but it's also a great looking kit. Being a hybrid kit is great as it means you have plenty of additional components left over to build and convert your miniatures as you see fit. Now, if you're looking to pick up one of these vehicles for yourself, they are currently available on the Firestorm Games webstore for at least 10% off the RRP, and you'll find a link to their page in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, do let us know in the comments below and be sure to subscribe to be kept up to date with all of our latest videos. So we just want to say a big thank you for watching this video, and we hope to see you again on Firestorm Games.